Good morning. I am actually recording this on April 13th during the Mercury retrograde that happened after our full solar eclipse and new moon in Aries. So, wow, guys, there's just so much energy out there right now. And I know that things are coming up, that you are feeling maybe uncertain, doubtful, really feeling like you don't know what way to go, what way to turn, what decision to make, if past decisions were the right decisions. This energy is so testing each and every one of us. No joke. And this is where we have to go back into our heart, drop down into our heart, and really understand that connection is the most important connection. I'm actually making this video a little longer than 1 minute today because I felt like this was so important to cover, because many of you are having those thoughts and recriminations and trepidations about past decisions, whether it was relationship related, should I reach out to that person? Should I apologize? I didn't get to say X, Y, or Z. Are they thinking about me as much as I'm thinking about them, and all of that, right? So this is where you have to drop down into your heart and understand that it's like hold steady. Hold steady. Don't buy into the fear and the trepidation and the doubt that is being created right now. Yeah, nothing about anything is status quo right now. This is about recognizing that this energy coming in is rooting out all of that old energy, trauma, hurt, decision making, but more than that, core wounds that you've been carrying. That is truly what's coming up, and that is what truly will not be the status quo when we come out of this Mercury retrograde. There's nothing status quo about this Mercury retrograde that will be on the other side of it. So anything that has felt status quo, that's not where we're going to be. Okay, so I'm actually going to read what this card is about in the reverse. So even if the changing situation seems outside of your control, never lose sight of the fact that you own the power of your thoughts. In fact, this can be precisely the opportunity you need to move you to your desired destiny. Remember that our thoughts create our emotions, and that creates our reality. That's how the law of correspondence works. So for those of you who have had status quo of disempowerment, unworthiness, threat, abandonment, that's been your status quo. Everybody leaves you. Everybody threatens you. You're abused on every level in all relationships, right? That is the core wounding and programming that I'm talking about, that is changing in this energy. So what is coming up right now is so uncomfortable, and it's so emotional, and I've been emotional for days. So those of you who are really battling with codependency and learning how to detach, learning how to not be people pleasing to the extent that you keep putting yourself in a negative deficit, that is the energy that is getting rooted out of you in this Mercury retrograde after this full new moon eclipse that just happened. What, 5 days ago? If that? I can't even remember what day it was on. At the end of this energy, that's going to be weeks. Yeah, hold on. Grab your pants, pull up your pants, or shut your door and lock it. Weeks of turmoil and doubt and all of this energy that's just welling up within you that is changing everything that used to be your status quo, that old programming. It's changing. So this is where you have to really like hermit, to be honest with you, like lock the door, turn off the distraction, find joy, meditate, get in connection with spirit, whatever way that works for you. And for those of you who are like, I don't do those things, right? It's okay. You can just pray. You can just set the intention. Whoever, Archangel Michael, my team of guides, angels, ascended masters, please come in and take this from me. It is too heavy. It's sitting in my heart and it hurts and it's coming up and I'm emotional and I can't get through the day because all of this stuff from inner child wounding, abusive relationships, programming, shadow, right? It's all festering and coming up and kind of hitting you right in the feels, right? It's because you're shifting. The paradigm, the story that was your story up until this point is changing. This isn't about a new beginning. This isn't about a restart. This is a shift from you being here to you now being over here. This is the breaking point of I can no longer honor that. I can no longer deal with that. I can no longer want that. Because there's something within me at the micro level. The DNA in me has shifted. It's not that I don't want to choose those things. Those things mean nothing to me anymore. It's like I look at those choices and decisions and I look at those relationships and I look at that life and I think, who was that person? Because who I am now is this more elevated, more aware person who can now see through the BS. Who doesn't feel like they deserve all of that stuff, that the breadcrumbs that you were giving me. That's not enough anymore. Nope. Because now I love myself and I value myself in a way that you can't even recognize. You're wondering who I am. Because I'm not taking the phone calls. I'm not listening to the excuses. I'm not putting up with less than what I deserve. And you're like, who the heck is that? Why isn't he or she doing for me? Why isn't he or she being what she was for me? Because he or she is not that version that you knew. This is the more elevated version of them. This is them embodying this new empowered version where they're in connection with their intuition. They're in connection with their BS detector. They're in connection with the vision and goal of what they want their life to be. And now there's no not going towards that. And if you're not a part of that, then you got to go over here and do this over here. And that's okay. We're going to love you over here, but we're still going to go in this direction. Because now we love ourselves enough to say we're important enough to do that. The status quo in your life is changing. That's what you're going through. That's what you're feeling. That's why you're emotional. That's why you're cranky. That's why you're exhausted, because your whole system at the cellular level, from and through your DNA, you are shifting. Embrace it. Honor it. Give yourself the grace that you need at this time. You're going to make it. You're going to get through it. We're going to do it together. Talk soon.